back to Laser Penguin Games. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Quillstorm Trap Rat build in Diablo 2 BXL Sigma for the Druid. And let's get right into the skills like we normally do. So we're going to max out our life shield first, and then we're going to max out symbiosis, and we're going to max out fairy fire. So that page is pretty easy. And we're gonna go to our trap rat, put one in trap rat form, and the reason is you're like, why only one? This is a trap rat build, like, because we actually don't want more crushing blow, and you're gonna see why when I show you the items I'm using after. So I don't want to put it, but if you have a different weapon, this is gonna be a little bit different. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. I maxed out Quillstorm. It's gonna be our main attack. And I put one in egg trap, and I maxed out ferocity. This is gonna, you can see here, you're gonna cap out on attack speed just from this, so you don't even have to worry about attack speed with this build. And then I do have one in Thornwall, but you don't need to. That's a waste of a point. I just kind of like to try out the moves when I'm doing the builds. So you probably say that point for what I'm going to show you now. So obviously, our symbiosis is going to get extra chance to avoid damage by putting points in Elven Song. So we're going to go to our corruption tree, put one in Poison Flash, and put 26 points in Elven Song, which is going to cap out our 20% avoidance and symbiosis. And then the rest of the points, we're going to go for Acid Fiends, which is going to give us more regeneration on our symbiosis as well, and then just give us some extra summons to absorb damage. Also, you got to put one in Plague Avatar to get there, and one in Mythal, and then whatever extra points you have left over, you're gonna just drop into Acid Fiends. Depending, if you have a different weapon here, you might want to only have one in Acid Fiends and actually end up putting more points into your Trap Rat form, but that's gonna depend on what you're doing. So let's get the stats and the items page open here. For me, for this is going to be a dexterity build, so I'm going to put barely enough into strength to wear my gear. I think I put a few points in vitality just to get my life up a little bit, to 13k. I definitely need to work on some more of my charms to get my life up a bit more. And then pretty much everything goes in dexterity, because we're going to be using that. It's going to pump our damage. That's going to give us more defense and a huge chance to block. As you can see, this is 43 now, but it's going to, when we actually go in trap rat form, it's going to be a lot higher. And then let's get to the gear. So I'm using Plunderbird, which is a huge damage. Obviously, 3 tiles in it. But you can see here, for every 1% crushing blow, we're going to get minus 10% enhanced weapon damage. We want to avoid crushing blow like the plague on all of our items if you're using this particular weapon. Also, there's a few other different weapons you can be using for Trap Rat, but this is what I chose. I'm going to be going all physical damage and dexterity. The stats on mine are not, I guess they're kind of mid-tier, not the best. You can get up to 400 max damage and up to 10% life. Mine's around 350, 51, and then you added the Tahas together. So also, it is a pretty high max damage weapon, and that's what we're going to be going for. I'm going to be doing over 5,000 per quill. This is another important piece here. So I made this for one of my other builds, but it's also works perfect for this one. It's Neza Ozis rune word, and this is going to add an extra 10% chance to avoid all damage, which is going to stack with the 20%, and the extra 20% give us 50 total. So you get 20% from symbiosis, and then 20% from the, they all stack together, and you'll end up with 50% chance to dodge, avoid, and evade, which is really nice. It's gonna negate a ton of damage, as well as we're gonna actually get our block over 50% chance as well. So, and then our defense is also gonna be huge. We'll go in trap rat form, over 400k. Amulet I'm using is Dyer's Eve. There's probably a few other options here. I just like, it just has everything I'm looking for. I don't need any more attack speed, so I'm gonna get some skills, some added damage, some life leech, and a bit of physical resist. For the shield, I'm using Light Forge. Now here you can kind of put in whatever runes you want. I'm using Chris runes, but I think, stacking Deadly Strike is probably a better idea here. I just don't have the runes to put in right now. But this is going to give us a big physical resist buff and a whole bunch more defense as well. It's kind of the perfect shield that goes with this build. So it's not too hard to find. For boots, I'm using the Windrunners. I've had these for a few builds now, but they're just any physical build. They're pretty much, once you have them, you just want to use them because they give you your leech and extra damage, movement speed, attack speed, everything. Although I don't think I even needed the attack speed with this. For rings, I got one Giant's Knuckle, which is going to give us a bit more physical resist and Deadly Strike. Second ring, I ended up using an Empyrean Band. Unfortunately, I don't have Lucky on this one. But the extra stats, 5% stats is really good, and the extra life as well. It's just really nice. For belt, I'm using the Endless Loop. And this is going to give us 10% slow target, as well as just a big pile of stats. You probably don't even need to use this one. I mean, the life regen is nice as well, but you're leeching enough that doesn't really matter. So there's probably a lot of different belt options. You probably just craft a dex belt here and it would work just fine. My other two pieces I'm using here are crafted armor, which is Abandoned Shrine Dex, and also we're just going to be stacking dexterity here with IL runes as well. I have them in the belt, and then I have for gloves, you can craft gloves with 2 to Druid skills. And this is all abandoned craft. Shift click this. So anyone wanted to see these. So also there's attack speed jewels in my what was this rune word helmet here. Because I can use this for other builds that actually need the attack speed, whereas Trap Rat kind of just the transformation gives it to you. If you don't have this rune, you could easily just craft a 4 to 5 skill Shrine Abandoned Druid Helm, which will work fine here as well. You'll still have 40% chance to dodge and avoid everything, and you'll probably end up with more damage and a higher block instead. So it'll pretty much be the same amount of trade-off. It'll be fine. That's pretty much all the gear I'm using. Honestly, I did try just for the heck of it. I tried a balance knife. Because it is a throwing weapon, but it's the dagger class, and it wouldn't even let me cast the move, so you have to actually use a dagger. So you can use... I do have the full set, and I didn't even bother with it, as I already had something in mind, so I don't know what I'm doing with the set. Probably get rid of it, maybe I'll give it away. If anybody wants it in non-ladder, leave a comment below, and I'll just give it away in the non-ladder. And then you can also just craft a dagger or blade too as well if you don't have a Plunderbird, and then go that way. So we're gonna be going to, let's go Vizjun here. This is probably the best place for this build. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, obviously, I don't know. I just like showed it anyway. Some people just don't know. Maybe it's the first video they see on my channel. In your offhand here, you're going to want a Shabanka, which is going to give you Bloodlust. That'll give us extra damage as well. Extra buff. I'll put all my buffs on. And we have 15 Acid Fiends. They die pretty quick. They also give a attack and movement speed buff, which makes us... we run pretty fast, actually, because of our weapon, and our boots have a lot of movement speed as well. We're going to transform. I guess I'll show you guys. Once I transform into a rat here, you'll see my stats go up way. So you'll see 57% chance to block and over 400,000 defense. And also our attack rating is just absurd. It doesn't... you're going to have 95% chance to hit. My physical resist could be a little bit higher, but I would probably have to work on that by luckying the same items. So go to jungle here. Gonna have to buff or Mark of the Wild out of town. I just have Quillstorm on the left here, and Acid Fiends on the right. Just simple. I can change around a buff when I want to as well. If you want to put Quillstorm on the right and make it just makes it easier and lazier, you can do that, but I don't mind pulling down the button to stand still. Moving grounds here. We're going to go ahead. We could do a death projector. Gonna die pretty quick. These guys are unkillable, but whatever. I think we just lost all our summons though. You guys distract for a second. You know, I'm very tanky though, so not perfect. Alright, so we're gonna buff for Bloodlust. Portal right away. Because when you die in here, it's bad news. Definitely want to get a portal up. We're gonna fire our Quill. We move quick, so I'm probably gonna try and stack up our mobs here. The mines are pretty much the only thing that's gonna give any problems.
Deploying drones. Activating enforcers.
But probably the best build I've seen so far to farm this area, and maybe I'll try a trophy farm. Nice. Also, the only other thing I didn't really talk about was the orb that I had to my gear was pretty much just all basically dexterity and defense. That's pretty much it. So if you're wondering. Oh man. You can see here, I'm just leeching so much life. I did add life leech orbs and deadly strike to my weapon. Well, we fire a ton of quills, and if we can get the extra deadly strike, it is going to help a lot. Just the deadly strike shield instead. Buy more. You could probably just put elemental runes in there if you want to. You see, I can't pick up any more money right now because I'm full. Hoping more Belladonnas drop because spending a lot. Last, I think I tried out like 4 or 5 different Bozon builds for the last video, and I made Patreon too. I'm gonna have to farm some more stuff. So I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna have to equip my ring now though.
Welcome to the new world order.
And we're gonna run up here. Clear them off first. Path. Destroy. I could go even faster. I could have ran by a lot of that stuff because the movement speed is so crazy fast with this build. Probably gonna be great for farming a lot of different things. Getting some decent XP from this area as well. Might be good to just run around and kill everything here. Good thing is most of the time the mines won't even get you because you're basically, if you're standing in the one spot and you don't move, you can wait for them to. Because I think my quills were all hitting the corner edge there in sort of like a glitch. I want to take those guys down. Also, if you're not leeching, you could easily die, so you gotta make sure you're actually attacking all the time. I'm gonna go fast. See if these things can even catch me.
Spawning minefield.
I think I could probably just make a straight run right for the altar almost.
Sentry engaging target. Magneers activating enforcers. Spawning minefield. Deploying drones. Magneers.
As soon as you stop, they kind of swarm you anyway, but the only thing you really need to clear is the altar.
Spawning minefield.
I think.
Deploying drones.
When I put that ring on, I might not have enough strength anymore to wear some of my gear. Yeah, so that's what happens. So I have to do it quick and switch my ring back. No wonder I died. Because the extra 5% stats, because I put the minimum strength in, is just letting me wear my helmet and my death piece. So when I switch for the Aster's Bane, it cuts off a few pieces of my gear, maybe even more. I think I might lose the boots too. And the okay, yeah, I lose like half my gear. No wonder I died right away. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm liking the build so far. Definitely gonna try out a few more areas with it and see how well it does. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next one. Hello everyone who made it to the end of the video. This is LaserPen Games, reminding you to smash that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out. And if you're looking for even more content, check out my Patreon here, where I post exclusive video content every month, and you'll have access to all of that.